Look at me, sitting in front of the camera with a nice little fluffy microphone in front of me and some bright lights. Here I am trying to look professional. I really don't know what the hell I'm doing, but I'm going to give it a crack. Today, I want to try and make an educational video, and hopefully a few people that are watching this can reap the benefits that I felt from doing what I did. I want to talk about dopamine, my detox from dopamine, and just general digital hygiene. So first I want to talk about what dopamine actually is, and I'm not going to go into too much detail for two reasons. One, it'll probably bore you, and two, I'm not an expert. I am by no means an expert. This is just from the research that I've done. But basically, dopamine is a chemical that gets released as a reward to you when you've done something or completed something that's good for your survival or good for you as a person. Dopamine stimulates the pleasure center in your brain. So, for example, when you eat food, you feel good. When you complete a task that's something that you need to do, or something that's going to help you get to the end goal of whatever that is, feels good. You have sex, it feels great. Dopamine is released in all these activities. Back when we were cavemen and cavewomen, this would really help us survive. Obviously, we need food to survive, and obviously we need to have sex to make sure that the species continues on. What the hell does this have to do with digital devices? Well, us humans have been toying with our dopamine system for quite a while. Things like drugs, they release a hell of a lot of dopamine, particularly the really illicit stuff that you hear about, cocaine, meth, and all that sort of stuff. As you can guess, that pleasurable feeling is quite addictive. That's why some people tend to eat too much. Some people get addicted to sex. A lot of people get addicted to drugs. It all kind of makes sense when you think about it like that. Drugs are obviously not good for your health. Most people don't dabble into drugs, or at least they don't realize. Side note, coffee is a drug. Most people drink coffee every day. That does release dopamine too. But that's not really the point of what I'm trying to make here. Have you ever noticed whenever you're scrolling through social media or Facebook, Instagram, bouncing around between basically the three biggest apps or four biggest apps of those big tech companies, have you noticed how you feel kind of just at ease and you just feel good? That is basically because dopamine is getting released on almost everything you see. It's really unnatural for you to look at, 100 pictures in a row, for example, when you're scrolling through Instagram, and 100's conservative. You ever notice when you've been scrolling through Instagram and you kind of just go, oh, okay, I've done a lot of scrolling, and you just scroll up and it takes you 10 seconds to get to the top and you flick through hundreds of photos? That's not really how us humans have ever really been developed to think and that sort of thing. So it's certainly a natural thing. The other problematic part about it is that we love dopamine. We humans, our brains literally love dopamine. When you fall in love with somebody, there's a whole bunch of chemicals that are released when you actually fall in love with somebody, and dopamine plays quite a big part in that. So when you have these applications on your phone that are really designed by nature to release a lot of dopamine, and you combine that with our brain absolutely loving dopamine, you can kind of see why they would connect and why people might start getting addicted to their phone, particularly social media. If you've ever seen the movie The Social Network, you might remember a guy named Tim Cook, who was a former Facebook executive, and he spoke about how his team and people that they hired that were super specialized, they understood the psychology of why dopamine gets released, and they understood everything. They would have teams of people working on Instagram, Facebook, and all of those apps to make them as addictive as possible. I don't think it was in the social network where it was quoted, but I did read a quote about somebody comparing modern day social media. When I say modern day, I mean like the past 2 or 3 years, comparing it to the addictiveness of cigarettes. And I only say the last 2 or 3 years because for people who are my age, who jumped on Facebook way back when, it was kind of shitty. It was just like a page where you just saw a few things. You could only post. You couldn't really upload that many things. You didn't have albums and stuff all tracked out all nicely. And it just wasn't as addictive as what it is now. So in today's day and age with all these websites, it's just amazing how addictive they've become. So what the hell can we do about it? A lot of people kind of just, I'm not really, I don't really spend that much time on my phone. I just check it every so often and what have you. If you actually install an app, I can't remember off the top of my head the app that I use, but I installed an app to track how much I was looking at my phone. I was spending like 2+ hours a day on my phone, and I thought that was pretty bad. I started to look up how much time people are spending on their phone, and it's upwards of 3 hours a day. And most of the time it's spent on bullshit apps of just scrolling through Facebook and just pointlessly looking at just garbage, just videos and pictures that really don't matter. They're not going to help you at all. That's not to say that you don't need to go on Instagram at all, because there are some positives. You can actually do some networking and you can actually find out a little bit about what's going on. You can socialize. But it's at the point where you're doing that for 3 hours a day that it starts to become a problem. That's when I heard about this dopamine detox. I really wanted to just not watch my phone or just look at it and do things like that were just not going to benefit me at all. So I tried putting my phone away. I tried doing a few bits and pieces, but I always found myself coming back to my phone. So I said, okay, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this not only with my phone, I'm going to do it with absolutely everything and going complete 100% focused on not distracting myself and just trying to be the best person I can. Anyway, so I put away my phone, I put away everything, and I started this dopamine detox. And for that detox, I had, for that detox week, I should say, I did this for a week straight. No alcohol, no drugs, easy. No caffeine, no chocolate, no sugar, no TV, video games. I don't really play that sort of stuff, so that wasn't really a big deal for me. No socializing with people, which was quite difficult. And of course, absolutely no social media and no phone really. So I blocked all of the websites on my desktop, and I blocked all of the, I just deleted the apps off of my phone. So I started, it was a Sunday morning, turned everything off, didn't have my cup of coffee. I didn't go out or anything on Saturday night, so I was fresh. First few hours were fine. It was like nothing happened. By the mid-afternoon, I was kind of just getting annoyed at myself. Like I was just like, what is happening? And I would strangely be doing stuff and working on my business or doing whatever. And I'd look down and my phone would be in my hand. It was this subconscious thing that I'd gone and picked up my phone and I was about to unlock it. And I was just thinking, what the hell am I doing? So I started keeping track. And that first day, I picked up my phone 50 times. 50 times. I just couldn't believe it. And I don't think I pick up my phone that many times. In fact, I started tracking it later and I didn't. But it was because I didn't have that little bit of that little dopamine hit that I would usually get from looking at my phone. My brain just wanted dopamine so much. And your brain doesn't understand where you get your dopamine from. It doesn't understand if you eat food. It doesn't understand if you do drugs. It just wants it. So if you give it to it, or if you do something that makes your brain release it, it's going to want it more. When you get rid of it, and you get rid of everything like this, your brain kind of doesn't know what the hell to do. So it was just trying to figure out ways to kind of trick me. And it was really, really a strange feeling. I powered through it. I got through that first day. The second day was horrible. I literally felt depressed. I felt so just down and grey. It was a really nice day outside. I looked outside, and usually when it's a sunny day, I want to go outside and do whatever. I just felt like shit. I was thinking, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? Like, I can just, whatever. I can just look at my phone. And it was just, my brain was just playing with me. Anyway, I get through that second day, and I'm honestly, my sleep was a bit disrupted, and I just couldn't feel normal. I just felt really flat. I got through the third day, and it was a little bit better. By the fourth day, it's as though my brain was like, all right, I can't trick Dean. I can't really figure out a way of doing this. So I'm just going to have to get dopamine from the only way he's really letting me do that. And that was completing tasks and just doing things that would help me get to my end goal. By the fifth day, I was waking up and I had this immense sense of motivation to just work on things that were important to me. By the end of the week, it was amazing. I didn't need that caffeine kick. I didn't need anything. I'd wake up, I'd feel fresh. I didn't have that feeling of needing to look at my phone. And for people watching this, especially if you're watching this in bed first thing in the morning, that is the worst thing to do. Do not check your phone first thing when you wake up. It's the worst thing to do. At the end of the week, I sort of sat down and journaled a little bit about what happened that week. And I decided that it was possibly one of the best things I've done in the last couple of years for myself. I did this about a month ago, and since then, I've really been focusing on not letting my phone take control of me, essentially. It was hard doing it the way I did it, but I'm glad I did it the way I did it. It taught me a lot about myself. It taught me a lot about how much time I'm wasting. I gained another 2 hours a day, so 14 hours back that week. But in reality, I gained so many more hours because all of the other time I was just deep in focus in what I wanted to do. There were no more distractions. When you look at your phone, you look away for 10 minutes and you come back and you got to figure out where you were, like back to what you're working on. It just wasn't there. I just had this really intense focus for the rest of the week. So I really, really actually think a dopamine detox works. Now, it's not like I wake up every day today and I'm some different person. I wake up today and I'm still Dean. I'm still the Dean I was before this detox changed my life. But the feeling I have of knowing that I'm not wasting time just makes me feel like a better person, and that I can channel through to my work, and it just shows. Lately I've just been able to complete so much more. I feel so much more fulfilled, and it's just been really good. And that's why I'm recording this video, because I'm hoping that somebody will watch this. Somebody who spends too much time on their phones watch this. Ironically, watching this on social media, I know, but how else am I going to get it to you? And we'll hopefully see a lot of self-improvement if they try it themselves. The last point I want to make is it's not all bad. With technology, especially in countries where it's really hard to find good education, technology has been fantastic. Screen time has allowed people to learn a hell of a lot of things at a much quicker rate. Schools, everyone has laptops, and it's all, for the most part, really beneficial. Except for social media. It just, unless you're using it to make money, you are the product. Why do you think it's free? I mean, that's the end of it there. That's pretty much all I want to say. Hopefully somebody takes this this bit of info, this stuff that I've said, and really benefits from it. I think I meant to say, if you like this, you should like the video, comment and all that. Share it, sure, why not? If you don't like it, also leave a comment and be like, that was stupid. Because if I'm going to keep making videos like this, I want to know if I'm saying stupid things. Anyway, peace out. Thanks for watching.